Hello to all my single mamas and papas out there. My name is Sheila Ann Gwayambade, single mother of two here in Uganda. Hey, and welcome to the Soul Parent Assembly, SPA for short. Um, we are here because it is a safe space for all of us single parents so that we can talk about all of the issues regarding our unique journey. We can share tips and advice, and we can talk about our ups and downs and encourage one another so that we are reminded that no matter where we are on our single parent journey, we are not alone. I hope you find encouragement. Today I am here to talk about forgiveness. Now, I know that everyone has heard about forgiveness. Um, and anyone who ever had to forgive will also know that it's easier said than done. But that is what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk to you about my experience with forgiveness and hope that my experience would be encouraging to you to embark on the journey, because I don't know how you came around to being a single parent, but I know that it wasn't my choice. I know it wasn't it wouldn't have been my first choice. It wouldn't have been something I would have dreamt about. So coming to terms with the fact that that was going to be my life has been a bit of a journey. I don't know that I'm there or that I have fully accepted it yet, but I am on the journey and I am doing the work. So that is where I am, and I am hoping that having this conversation with you would help you do the work as well. So, why bother with this forgiveness business? Why is it important? Well, the way someone put it for me is that that helped me to understand it is like holding unforgiveness means that someone gets to live rent free in your mind. That this person you are thinking about them, you are wishing ill of them. They are there when you wake up. They're there when you go to sleep, because you have so much negativity in their direction. You can't focus on anything else. And that can be exhausting, and holding all of that anger and bitterness within you, oh my word, it exacerbates. If it doesn't bring about your depression and anxiety, it exacerbates it. And because I had been on an anxiety and depression journey for over 10 years, being that angry crippled me. So I am hoping that you would hear what my experience has been, so that it doesn't cripple you the way it crippled me. When I first discovered that I was going to be a single parent the second time, I think because I was pregnant and I was going through a separation, and that meant that I was going to have to find a new job that would better accommodate me and my girls. But the job that I was going to get had to start a month after my baby was born. So I was only going to be with my baby for 1 month before I started the new job. Now, I had been really fortunate with my first daughter because I was able to be with her until she started school. So the thought of somebody else raising my child other than me was unbearable. I couldn't wrap my head around it. I couldn't handle it personally, and I knew they could be great people. It didn't matter what they did; it just wasn't going to be good enough for me because I raised my children, uh, and so I got angry at my ex-partner. I got so angry. I was angry when I got up in the morning. I was angry when I got to bed. I was angry. I was cussing in my head. I don't cuss, but in my head, every word, it was like rainbow colored, the amount of cuss words that were floating around in my head, because I was so angry over the fact that I wasn't going to be able to be with my child and that I had to make all of these changes in my life, and I wasn't happy about it. Um, I sound a little tantrumous. But yeah, so because I was so angry, my depression got worse. It got so bad that I was on the floor. I slept on the floor. I woke up on the floor. The first month, when that depression started getting bad, I was going to work. But then I became really suicidal. So that got really bad. Like I would walk on the bridge and I would just see myself jumping off of it. Or I would cross the road and I would see myself walking in front of a car. And I would come home and I would be cooking and I would be like chopping vegetables or whatever. And I would see myself hurting myself with the knife that I'm holding over and over and over again. I think the doctors called it obsessive compulsive suicidal thoughts. Anyway, but my anger was my cloak. It was my blanket. It was my badge of honor. I needed to stay angry because anything other than that felt like it was letting this person off the hook. Uh, and I was not about to do that. So I was angry, but being angry was destroying me. And then eventually, thank God that the pandemic started right about that time. So because I was pregnant and considered high risk, I was sent home. I was one of the first people to be sent home, and I just stayed there. I just stayed on the floor for months, and I couldn't do anything. I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust myself to cook. I didn't trust myself to go to the shops. I didn't trust myself to leave the house, so I just stayed there, just scared of myself. um, but but the thoughts that were racing in my head of the anger directed to this person, it just, it wouldn't end, and I couldn't put an end to it. So I heard clear as day, a voice of reason in my head that it said, Sheila, it's time to forgive. And I was like, what? No, we don't do that. Look at me. I am a ball of mess on the floor. Why would I forgive somebody who would get me to this point? And I knew something had to change. I knew I was powerless to change it in the position that I was in. And I knew I had to do something. So eventually I succumbed to the voice in my head, and I came to terms with the fact that I had to forgive. But when I did, all I could do was cry. I just cried and cried and cried over everything that was building up inside of me. And so when I was done crying and managed to get myself off the bathroom floor, I say the magic words that I forgive you. Uh, and if they really were not attached to anything, I knew I was just saying it because I have to. And so I prayed. I prayed that I would have the strength to live out the forgiveness I've just confessed, because I knew, being left to my own devices, this will be the most unforgiven person that ever lived. Uh, and so I prayed, and honestly, the second that I did that, the second that I truly started the forgiveness journey, it felt like the clouds parted, and the sun came through. There was light, the darkness was penetrated, and it felt like something lifted off of me, and I was able to get off the floor. I was able to go to a doctor and ask for help. I was able to go back to being able to parent my daughter who was there, because I was no use to anybody. And the worse that I got in my depression, the worse my relationship got. And the worse my relationship got, the worse my depression got. And the worse my depression got, the worse my relationship. It was fun. So on that note, that's why I want to encourage you who are watching. I don't know where you are in terms of your parenting journey, and I don't know how you came to being a single parent, but knowing that this person who is the father or the mother of your child is going to be a part of your life. for the rest of your life, just merely over the fact that you have a child together, or the relationships that you have that are supposed to support you at this time, because it is a difficult season and it doesn't end tomorrow. Forgiveness is something that you're going to have to practice over and over and over again. And it might be easier to forgive someone who you never have to see again. But I understand that the situation where I'm talking about forgiveness, you are probably going to be forgiving somebody who still has access to you, who is going to continue to be a part of your life forever, for as long as you're co-parenting. And in some cases, they still have access to hurt you. They can continue to hurt you because they have access to you. And so you have to keep on forgiving and keep on forgiving and keep on forgiving. But I think that it is worth it in order for you to be in the right headspace, because being angry was comforting to me, but not being able to parent my girl, my daughter, broke my heart. In the end, I had to have her sent away to my sister to stay with her for a while I got myself together, because I honestly had nothing to give. I had nothing in me left. And so I wouldn't want anybody to end up in that position, especially because even though the journey to forgiveness is a long one, and sometimes you're going to be on it for a long time, I do believe that it is worth it. And so I hope that you can go into the comment section and tell me about how forgiveness is working out for you as far as your single parenting is concerned. I do want to hear if you have started the journey. I want to hear if you're on the other side and you and the parent of your children are best friends. I would like to see what that feels like. That sounds nice. And so I would like to hear how this is going for you. So please share, and don't forget to subscribe and press the notification button so you don't miss any new videos. Send this video to another single parent, and I hope they would find encouragement. And thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again when I do another video. And until then, bye bye.